Chapter 41. Unless you become part of Jade Lake Sacred Ground, you are listening at novelfull.audio. The layout of this chamber was very simple. There was a table, a chair, a bed, and a mat. On the table was a pot of tea. But after so many years, the tea had already dried up. What was worth mentioning was that there was a stone statue sitting on the prayer mat in the middle of the bed. This stone statue was extremely smooth, and its clothes fluttered in the wind. The face was carved in an extremely exquisite and vivid manner. As everyone entered the chamber, a female figure appeared in front of the stone statue. This woman's appearance was very similar to that of the stone statue. She wore a long green dress and looked absolutely beautiful. Her appearance and figure were all on par with Little Spirit Fairy. She even had a graceful and dignified aura that made people feel a sense of awe. The phantom floated in the air, indifferently glancing at Shantian and the rest. When she saw Shantian, the phantom seemed to pause for more than 10 seconds. She slowly said, "To have people enter this door, it must mean that I have passed away. I am the 9th elder of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground, Spirit Venerate Divine Water. Those who open the cave abode with their bloodline are definitely descendants of my lineage. Come forward and kowtow to inherit my legacy." As the phantom announced its name, everyone was left speechless. 9th elder of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground. This identity was incredible. The Jade Lake Sacred Ground was one of the top-ranked sacred grounds. As an elder of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground, her status was only below that of the sacred leader. It could be said that she was definitely one of the top figures in the entire eastern wilderness. With this in mind, Shantian couldn't help but glance at Little Spirit Fairy. He never expected this girl to be related to Spirit Venerate Divine Water. It was no wonder she was the only one who could open the door. "Brother Shen, she wants me to kowtow." Little Spirit Fairy looked at the phantom and asked, "Do I kowtow?" Shantian smiled. "Since she's your senior, it's not a big deal to kowtow to her." Little Spirit Fairy nodded and obediently knelt before the stone statue. She obediently kowtowed 3 times at the Spirit Venerate Divine Water statue. The phantom nodded slightly. "Not bad, not bad. I am very pleased. Child, come here." Little Spirit Fairy obediently approached the phantom. The latter looked at Shantian again and pointed her index finger at Little Spirit Fairy's glabella. The phantom turned into countless specks of light and surged into Little Spirit Fairy's body. Spirit Venerate Divine Water's voice reverberated in the chamber. "Junior, remember that I have a 5.100-year agreement to duel with the Essence Venerate Crimson Feather of the Divine Firmament Sacred Ground. Although I have passed away, the agreement cannot be broken. The one who inherits my legacy must become the disciple of Jade Lake Sacred Ground and challenge the successor of the Essence Venerate Crimson Feather when the day comes. Defeat is not an option." All the lights disappeared the moment the sentence was finished. Little Spirit Fairy slowly opened her eyes, her gaze filled with shock. At the same time, the halo above her head became brighter than ever. The bright red halo was as magnificent as the vast sun. The edges of the halo were completely embedded with golden light. It was even brighter than Qin Gao's halo. Shantian, on the other hand, felt relaxed, as if he was floating. Clearly, this was an incredible inheritance. Little Spirit Fairy blushed when he saw Shantian staring at her. She hurriedly said, "Master passed 2 legacies to me. One is the Spirit-Searching Mystic Technique, Deity Peering Art, and the other is the Cultivation Technique, Jade Lake Imperial Sutra, before the Soul Formation stage. But Brother Shen, I'm sorry. Master informed me when imparting the cultivation techniques. The Deity Peering Art was an opportunity obtained by Master. She permits me to impart you a copy. As long as I break through to the Foundation Establishment stage, I will be able to pass this cultivation technique to you. However, the Jade Lake Imperial Sutra is a secret that cannot be passed down. One must be a disciple of the sacred ground to cultivate it. Unless you're a member of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground, I can't impart it to you. Become part of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground. Doesn't the Jade Lake Sacred Ground only accept female disciples? Upon hearing Little Spirit Fairy's words, Shantian was caught between laughter and tears. He said, "It's okay. The phantom just now must have been left behind by Spirit Venerable Divine Water." Little Spirit Fairy was her descendant, so she dispersed her remnant consciousness to fulfill Little Spirit Fairy. Shantian and the others were not even disciples of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground. No matter what, it was impossible to impart the Jade Lake Sacred Ground's core inheritance to them. Furthermore, with Shantian's current blessings from Providence, he would not dare to cultivate the Jade Lake Imperial Sutra even if he could. Just the casual cultivation of a few simple chi refinement techniques had led him to suffer chi deviation 88 times. If he were to cultivate the profound Imperial Sutra, wouldn't he explode into fireworks at any time? It was still the same as ever. Never cultivate when the halo isn't green. Seeing that Shantian didn't have any ill feelings toward her, Little Spirit Fairy heaved a sigh of relief. Then she looked at Shantian with admiration. "Brother Shen, I finally know why you want to help seek ores." Shantian was stunned. "You know." He remained calm and smiled. "Oh, tell me." Little Spirit Fairy said seriously, "The deity peering art is a profound art for ore seeking. Cultivators can condense their divine consciousness into an eye and scan spirit ores. The higher your attainment, the stronger your ability at scanning spirit ores. But the front part of this technique emphasizes that this technique cannot be used frequently." Shantian wore a mysterious smile and asked, "Oh, why?" Little Spirit Fairy imagined that Shantian was testing her and refused to give in. "Because there's a huge terror in spirit ores. After a long period of time, every spirit ore will produce an ominous force. This kind of ominous energy can contaminate the divine consciousness before further contaminating the body. Using a spirit-seeking mystic technique to search for spirit ores will definitely result in being tainted by the ominous force. It will require a lot of effort to get rid of it." Little Spirit Fairy explained the essence of the deity peering art. However, people with high attainments in spirit-seeking mystic techniques can learn some mystic arts. Through these mystic arts, one can give what's inside the spirit ore to others. By sharing the karma with a fated person, the pressure on the spirit or appraiser will be greatly reduced. As for ominous power on those fated ones, it will slowly dissipate as time passes. This way, a spirit or appraiser will be able to detect more spirit ores and not suffer a backlash. Shantian was caught between laughter and tears. So someone could be misunderstood when setting up a store to do appraisals. However, those so-called spirit-seeking mystic techniques were nothing much. Shantian did not have to worry about being unlucky at all when seeking ores for others. He had a 100% success rate. In comparison, the so-called spirit-seeking mystic technique was useless. Shantian asked again, "What will happen if the ominous power is not removed in time?" Little Spirit Fairy said, "If it isn't removed in a timely manner, or if a large amount of ominous energy taints someone within a short period of time, then, the spirit or appraiser might be completely corrupted by the ominous energy. They will suffer petrification and turn into a stone statue." Little Spirit Fairy seemed to have thought of something. She looked at the stone statue sitting cross-legged on the prayer mat, her expression suddenly changing. Thus, Spirit Venerable Divine Water had transformed into a stone statue because of the corruption of the ominous energy. From the inherited memories, Little Spirit Fairy knew. Her master was above the nascent soul stage, a soul formation stage expert, and she was one of the top experts at the soul formation stage. Such an existence had actually turned into a statue due to the corruption of ominous energy. What forbidden item did she touch back then? Little Spirit Fairy could not help but feel her scalp go numb. At this moment, a change occurred in the chamber, the floor cracked. Chapter 42. Refining First Essence Heavy Water into the Kidney. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. The floor cracked open, and 3 stone pillars slowly rose from the ground. On each of the 3 stone pillars was a stone box. The texture of each box was very simple and ancient. They were covered in a thick layer of dust. The moment these 3 stone boxes appeared, Shen Tian's expression suddenly changed. He stared at one of the boxes, his body suddenly filled with a primal desire. This desire surged violently, like a tsunami that no one could resist. He wanted it. Linger. Shen Tian took a deep breath. Can you give me the box on the right? Shen Tian was not a pretentious person. He could feel his body's natural instincts. It was obvious that the item in the 3rd box was very useful to him. Little Spirit Fairy, Eunuch Gui, and Qin Gao didn't seem to share the same feelings. Little Spirit Fairy nodded and said, I've already obtained the most precious inheritance. These 3 stone boxes can be given to you. When did this girl become so generous? Shen Tian faltered slightly before turning to look at the halo above Little Spirit Fairy's head. After Little Spirit finished speaking, the halo above her head didn't change colors. So taking these 3 boxes won't affect my blessings. If that's the case, then I won't stand on ceremony. He smiled. Deal. Little Spirit Fairy was stunned. Speaking of which, why did Brother Shen agree so readily this time? Didn't Brother Shen reject the pool of white lotus flowers back then? Can it be that Brother Shen is angry because Master doesn't allow me to impart him the Imperial Sutra? Thinking of this, Little Spirit Fairy was in a difficult position. Why don't I break Master's rules and secretly impart him the Imperial Sutra? Shen Tian didn't know what Little Spirit Fairy was thinking. He removed the 3 boxes and opened the first box. The box contained an exquisite storage ring. This ring was silver in color and embedded with sapphires. It was as clear as the sea. In the inner ring, 2 large words were engraved in the ancient language. Archeon Si. So this ring is called the Archeon Si ring. Shen Tian was deep in thought. He cut his index finger and dripped a drop of blood on it. The Archeon Si ring slowly absorbed the drop of blood. Then, Shen Tian felt a peculiar sensation between him and the ring. He could sense the space within the ring. This was a huge interspatial ring that had 10,000 storage space within it. It was 100 times bigger than the universe ring that shopkeeper Song from the Sky Spirit Pavilion had given him. Inside the Archeon Si ring were many spirit stones and a large chest. There were an estimated 1,000,000 spirit stones inside. Shen Tian's heart leaped with joy when he saw that. Compared to Qin Gao's previous opportunities, he found it more comfortable to piggyback on Little Spirit Fairy's opportunities. This turn of events had made him rich. Continue. Shen Tian slowly opened the 2nd stone box. The smile on his face gradually froze. The item in the 2nd stone box was not worse than the 1st stone box. Perhaps it was more valuable. However, Shen Tian couldn't bring himself to be happy at all. The 2nd stone box contained a light blue battle armor and a long whip. Yes, a female outfit. Although it was definitely not an ordinary item for Spirit Venerable Divine Water to specially store it in the stone box, this was useless. Shen Tian couldn't possibly wear a female outfit in the future, right? Shen Tian took out his battle armor and whip and looked at Little Spirit Fairy. Linger, do you like this battle armor and whip? Little Spirit Fairy was slightly taken aback. I haven't worn armor before. You haven't worn before because you don't like it. Shen Tian sighed. Then we can only keep it for now. We'll find a chance to sell it in the future. Sell. Little Spirit Fairy's lips twitched. I was trying to say that I haven't worn any armor before. Brother Shen, can you help me put it on? I did not say that I didn't like it. Can you finish listening to what I have to say? How exasperating. The prayer beads in Shantian's arms slowly trembled, and Joer's voice sounded once again. Master, Miss Linger's body, is releasing resentment again. She's releasing resentment again. Who made her unhappy? Shantian thought for a moment, but he couldn't figure out why. Sigh, it's really hard to guess why girls get angry. They release resentment every day. What if they go crazy one day? I have to find an opportunity to talk to this girl. BDNV as cultivators, we have to be relaxed and calm. Shantian had no choice but to put the battle armor and whip into the Archeon C ring before opening the third box. This box was also the source of Shantian's strong desire. Shantian could feel that his body yearned for the item in the box. As the third box was opened, the entire chamber was enveloped by a tremendous presence. Shantian's body trembled, and he almost collapsed to the ground. The third box contained a pool of silver liquid. What was even more amazing was when the liquid in the box appeared, Shantian's tinder body tempering art began to circulate automatically. The desire that arose from the bottom of his heart grew stronger. Shantian slowly extended his right hand toward the silver liquid. The moment his right hand came into contact with the liquid, it surged into his body. It was extremely fast. It was drawn by the tinder body tempering art and started to circulate through Shantian's body. Pain. An unprecedented pain. If Shantian's absorption of spirit chi and the tempering of his body with a medicinal bath felt like he was being struck by a wooden hammer, then the liquid flowing all over Shantian's body felt as though he was being struck by a clear sky hammer. Other than the miserable scream he let out at the beginning, Shantian spent the rest of the time unconscious. After some time, Shantian slowly opened his eyes, and 3 concerned faces entered his sight. Your Highness, you're finally awake. Brother Shen, you've been unconscious for 3 days and 3 nights. Thanks to Concubine Land's blessings. Your Highness, you gave me a fright. Shantian rubbed his head and said helplessly, why did I faint? Eunuch Gue was caught between laughter and tears. How can you not faint? The third box was filled with First Essence Heavy Water. First Essence Heavy Water. Shantian was shocked. First Essence Heavy Water, ranked 12th on the Absolute Water list. There were many rankings regarding the treasures in the cultivation world. Shantian had found the 7-treasure fairy calabash, ranked 36th on the spiritual wood list. He didn't expect that it would be even more miraculous this time. He actually managed to find the 12th on the Absolute Water list, First Essence Heavy Water. This was a precious treasure even more valuable than the 7-treasure fairy calabash. No one could fault such blessings from Providence. Little Spirit Fairy was also amazed. Amazing. He actually managed to refine the First Essence Heavy Water. In Spirit Venerable Divine Water's legacy, she had specially mentioned it. The First Essence Heavy Water was the greatest reliance that Spirit Venerable Divine Water had when she reigned supreme in the cultivation world. It was extremely powerful. Even though it had already been refined at a basic level, decreasing the difficulty of refining it into someone by 80 to 90%, it was definitely not something cultivators below the Golden Core stage could easily wield. She did not expect that Shantian, who was only at the body refinement stage, could actually forcibly refine the First Essence Heavy Water. It was simply inconceivable. Furthermore, according to everyone's observation over the past few days, Shantian seemed to have sucked the First Essence Heavy Water into his kidney. The kidneys governed waters, they received the 5 viscera and 6 bowels essence and stored it. To cultivators, this was definitely a vital organ. The First Essence Heavy Water had somehow gone into Shantian's kidney. It was unknown if it was a blessing or a curse. Chapter 43. Women are like water. What a good imagery. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I refined the First Essence Heavy Water. Shantian was stunned before his expression changed drastically. A strong sense of hunger and emptiness surged through his entire body. At that moment, he felt as though his body had been emptied. Something's wrong. That thing is absorbing my essence. Shantian clutched his kidney, feeling the essence energy in his body rapidly depleting. A powerful suction force erupted from his kidney as it crazily absorbed energy. F***ck, it said that women are like water. What a good imagery. While Shantian was cursing in his heart, he quickly took out a large amount of spirit stones from the Archeon C ring. The so-called refinement of essence energy into chi meant that essence energy and spirit chi were actually two convertible types of energy. However, the purity of spirit chi was higher than that of ordinary essence energy. Therefore, most cultivators relied on daily nutritious food to accumulate their essence energy before converting it into spirit chi for cultivation. However, with a large amount of spirit stones in possession, he could quickly convert the spiritual power in them into essence energy. Currently, within Shantian's body, the first essence heavy water was crazily absorbing his essence energy. He could only absorb spirit stones to fill this hole. Shantian took out a bag of spirit stones and devoured the spirit chi within it. 100, 200, 300. Soon, the spirit stones that had been sucked dry were scattered all over the ground. Shantian's complexion gradually became better, but his eye circles were still frighteningly dark. Those who didn't know better would think that some beauty had hollowed out Shantian's body. His kidney could not keep up. He continued absorbing. 000000000. All the empty bags were thrown to the side. Eunuch Gui and the others were dumbfounded. This was too terrifying. In just an hour, he had actually absorbed several thousand spirit stones. Even a golden core cultivator would fret over having to devour so many spirit stones. However, Shantian had no intention of stopping. He sat cross-legged. His body was like a huge whirlpool that kept devouring the spirit chi. It was not something he could stop just because he wanted to. After sensing Shantian's injection of spirit chi, the first essence heavy water in his kidney became even more excited. It immediately gave up on absorbing Shantian's essence energy and began absorbing the spirit chi crazily. The first essence heavy water devoured the spirit chi that Shantian delivered into his body. However, what was worth mentioning was that as the first essence heavy water devoured the spirit chi, Shantian's aura also grew stronger rapidly. Body tempering. First firmament body tempering. Second firmament body tempering. Third firmament body tempering. Fourth firmament. In just 2 hours, his aura had soared from the first firmament of body tempering to the fourth firmament. One had to know that the path of cultivation was always more and more difficult toward the end. It being 10 times more difficult to break through to the fourth firmament than the first firmament of body tempering was an understatement. Even chi refinement cultivators would find it extremely difficult to break through so quickly. Besides, Shantian cultivated the God-fiend body tempering cultivation system. This speed of improvement was unbelievable. How is that possible? Eunuch Gui and Qin Gao stared blankly at Shantian, their faces looking as though they were questioning life. Over the past 3 days, with the spirit stones that Shantian had given them, the two of them had improved by leaps and bounds. Eunuch Gui's cultivation had already advanced to the 8th firmament of the Qi refinement realm. Qin Gao was originally at the peak of the 3rd firmament of Qi refinement, but he had already broken through to the 5th firmament. The two of them had always been shocked by the effects of the demon book of Hyuga that His Highness had taught them. However, compared to the speed at which His Highness' cultivation was improving, the duo felt that what they cultivated was nothing but child's play. They were cultivating an even simpler Qi refinement system, while His Highness was cultivating an even more difficult body tempering system. Are we really cultivating what Demon Hyuga had left behind, the Demon Book of Hyuga, which was claimed to have the fastest cultivation speed? And what His Highness cultivated was some tinder body tempering art he bought with 5 taels of silver. Why does it feel like the whole world is making a fool of us? Could it be that His Highness was actually those spoken of in legends? A rare genius, immortal cultivator. Time passed. Finally, Shen Tian's aura gradually stabilized. His cultivation stopped at the peak of the fourth firmament body tempering realm. At that moment, he had already absorbed more than 10,000 spirit stones. It must be understood that most cultivators would only spend around 1,000 spirit stones to break through to the foundation establishment stage. The spirit stones that Shen Tian had consumed were enough to nurture 10 foundation establishment cultivators. To break through from the first firmament to the fourth firmament for the body tempering realm, he had actually consumed 10,000 spirit stones. If word got out, many people would be frightened to death by the number. Shen Tian's complexion had completely returned to normal. His dark circles had also disappeared. He slowly opened his eyes and muttered, "I see." After checking his entire body by circulating his cultivation technique, Shen Tian gradually understood everything that had happened to him. Shen Tian had indeed been unconscious for 3 days and 3 nights, but he had not wasted this period of time. After he had absorbed the first essence heavy water into his body, it had started to circulate following the tinder body tempering art's circulation process. It had been tempering his entire body. It must be known that first essence heavy water was ranked 12th on the absolute water list, and its greatest characteristic was its weight. A single droplet of first essence heavy water weighed nearly 20 million tons. If a large amount of spiritual energy was added to it, the weight even multiplied. In the cultivation world, it was recognized as a supplementary treasure for God-fiend body tempering cultivation. After refining the first essence heavy water, it was stored in his body. He could control the first essence heavy water to temper his body and make his body stronger and tougher. However, this kind of tempering was very dangerous. If he did not control it well, he might end up exploding to his death. After all, how could something weighing nearly 20 million tons per drop be so easily withstood? Shen Tian also did not understand why he could so easily refine and absorb the first essence heavy water. He was clearly cultivating the tinder body tempering art, not some water body tempering art. Furthermore, during the 3 days that he had been unconscious, the first essence heavy water had constantly been flowing through his body and strengthening it. In the past 3 days, Shen Tian's physical strength had increased by more than 10 times. However, due to the lack of spirit qi supply, his body had dried up, and his aura was completely restrained. Shen Tian had absorbed a total of 10,000 spirit stones to fill up his empty body. At once, the aura belonging to the fourth firmament body tempering realm was completely restored. At that moment, Shen Tian felt that he was stronger than ever. "Uncle Gue, try my strength again." Shen Tian's eyes lit up as he laughed and pounced toward Eunuch Gue. He clenched his right fist and threw a punch at Eunuch Gue. The wind from the fist was like a huge river, emitting rumbling sounds of a rushing wind. Clearly, the power of this punch had improved by leaps and bounds compared to 3 days ago. Eunuch Gue's expression changed slightly. He looked very serious. Even though his cultivation had already reached the 8th firmament of the Qi refinement realm, making it far higher than Shen Tian's, the latter's aura at that moment shocked him. Eunuch Gue took a deep breath and shouted, "Sunflower flowers bloom." Suddenly, red spirit qi surged out of his body and condensed into a blood-colored sunflower in front of him. This was the defensive type technique recorded in the Demon Book of Hyuga. Demonic sunflower protection. He condensed his spirit qi into a red demonic sunflower to defend himself. This demonic sunflower contained an extremely powerful defense. Even God-fiend body tempering cultivators of the same level would find it hard to crack it. Boom! Shen Tian's fist landed heavily on the demonic sunflower. Eunuch Gue's expression changed. He could actually feel the demonic sunflower trembling. How is this possible? His Highness is only at the 4th firmament of body tempering, but why does it feel that his strength is even greater than an ordinary 7th firmament? It must be understood that 99% of God-fiend body tempering techniques were secrets which the major immortal sects kept to themselves. However, for some reason, the tinder body tempering art was widely spread throughout the cultivation world. However, it is such a common cultivation technique that His Highness has cultivated to such a terrifying level. When did His Highness' cultivation talent become so terrifying? Eunuch Gui didn't have the time to think before his expression changed. Shen Tian's attack came again. Uncle Gui, be careful. Shen Tian let out a long roar and suddenly slapped the area where his kidney was. Immediately afterward, a layer of silver liquid appeared on the surface of his right fist. As this liquid appeared, Shen Tian's aura suddenly increased. He delivered his punch. Chapter 44. Master Celestial, we miss you so much. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The punch did not seem to contain any profundity, nor was it fast. However, when Shen Tian punched out, Eunuch Gui felt himself being sucked in. Shen Tian's fist was emitting a powerful attractive force. This attraction force kept pulling Eunuch Gui closer, restricting his dodging speed. Unbeknownst to Eunuch Gui, there was a gravitational formula in another world. An object with sufficient mass could generate a strong attractive force to other objects. Therefore, the denser an object was, the more attractive it became. Shen Tian's right fist was covered with heavy water, making this move very difficult to dodge. Of course, the difficulty of dodging did not mean that he could not defend. Eunuch Gui could feel the power and terror of Shen Tian's next punch. If this punch struck him, he could basically meet Concubine Lan. Condense. The spirit chi in Eunuch Gui's body surged toward the demonic sunflower. After obtaining sufficient spirit chi, the blood-red sunflower became more vibrant and seductive. It slowly bloomed as if it was opening its mouth to swallow everything. However, when Shen Tian's first essence heavy water-covered right fist came into contact with it, cracks quickly appeared on the blood-colored sunflower's petals. Following that, a petal shattered into nothingness. Eunuch Gui exerted his full strength casting demonic sunflower protection, but he was unable to block a single attack from Shen Tian. The red petals pulverized amidst the fist's wind as Shen Tian's fist stopped 3 inches in front of Eunuch Gui. Obviously, Shen Tian had won this skirmish. He completely defeated an 8th firmament chi refinement expert at the 4th firmament body tempering realm with a single move. The silver liquid slowly seeped into his body, and the oppressive aura in the air also disappeared. Shen Tian scratched his head with a smile. My body was filled with energy just now. It would be quite uncomfortable if I didn't vent it out. Uncle Gui, are you hurt? Eunuch Gui shook his head and sighed with emotion. Your Highness, you held back very quickly. I'm fine. But Your Highness, your punch is really powerful. I'm afraid it's sufficient to threaten a Foundation establishment stage expert. If Concubine Lan were to know how strong Your Highness is, I'm sure she would be happy down under. Eunuch Gui's words were not flattery. He had cultivated the demon book of Hyuga to the 8th firmament of the chi refinement realm. In truth, his strength was definitely extraordinary. In an all-out battle, he could even fight against God-fiend body tempering experts of the same level. Given his methods, he could even fight against weaker Foundation establishment cultivators. However, in front of Shen Tian, he could not even withstand a single punch. In that state, Shen Tian was virtually invincible with just one punch. The first essence heavy water is ranked 12th on the absolute water list. Its power is naturally extraordinary. Shen Tian smiled and said, my punch just now was augmented with the first essence heavy water. Eunuch Gui's face lit up. Your Highness, can you control the first essence heavy water already? Shen Tian nodded. I don't know why. It seems to be very compatible with the Tinder Sutra. The moment I activate my Tinder body tempering art, I can have the first essence heavy water augmented to my force. After that, it will flow across my body through this force and temper my muscles and bones. With its help, the amount of spirit chi I can use to temper my body has increased several-fold. Furthermore, the efficiency of tempering is also increased several-fold. Just now, I tried to concentrate the first essence heavy water on my fist and realized that it was feasible. Shen Tian didn't expect that the tinder body tempering art he had spent 5 taels of silver on would have such a miraculous effect. Could it be that no one had tried to use the tinder body tempering art to absorb first essence heavy water before? Or was there some secret that I do not know? Shen Tian frowned. He felt that things were not that simple. Forget it. I won't think about it anymore. I'll understand when I have the chance in the future. Shen Tian tossed his doubts to the back of his mind and began to consider giving his killer move a nice name. There were no corresponding offensive moves in the Tinder Sutra. Now, Shen Tian's Tinder Sutra had mutated after absorbing the first essence heavy water. It even let Shen Tian create a peerless fist technique. Shen Tian naturally had to give his fist technique a super domineering name. What should I call it? Tinder Divine Water Fist. Invincible Tinder Fist. Invincible Divine Water Fist. Saitama Aqua Fist. Return My Beauty Fist, 1. After coming up with more than 10 names, Shen Tian finally had to admit that he was a person who had difficulty naming stuff. Forget it. Let's call it First Essence, 2, Divine Fist. When he could circulate the First Essence Divine Water to his feet, he could call it First Essence Divine Kick. To slap someone with a palm, he could call it First Essence Divine Palm. If he could cover his entire body, it could be called the First Essence Indestructible Divine Art. Or perhaps he could make it into some aqueous armor, First Essence Black Rhinoceros, 3. Yes, it was indeed a good idea. After all, strength gave him the ability to do anything substantial. No matter what kind of mysterious secret arts or magical artifacts they were, they could all be destroyed. Oh right, I wonder if this thing can be sprayed out like a water gun. If it's possible, this thing should be more fun than anti-tank missiles when sprayed on the face. Yes, that will make it the First Essence Divine Gun. If he exerted enough speed, he could also develop toward the water jet cutter. That could be called First Essence Divine Saber. Shen Tian felt that this was his future cultivation path. There were a few research directions he could try. It was interesting and fun. He felt that they would definitely be very powerful. This First Essence heavy water is like a panacea. I'm indeed a genius. Shen Tian calmed himself down and saw Eunuch Gui and the others staring at him. He calmly coughed twice. Ahem. We should go back now. Eunuch Gui nodded. Don't worry, Your Highness. We have already collected all the pure white lotuses in the valley. During the 3 days that Shen Tian had been unconscious, the 3 of them had not been idling around. The herbs and the pure white lotuses in the valley had already been plucked. According to the distribution method mentioned previously, Shen Tian and Little Spirit Fairy each received half. What was worth mentioning was that Little Spirit Fairy's storage ring wasn't very big. It only had 1 storage space. She had put in quite a lot of effort to store the herbs and pure white lotuses. Oh right, Uncle Gui, give me the mirror. Shen Tian suddenly reacted and was about to look at his own circles. Eunuch Gui was caught between laughter and tears. He passed the mirror to Shen Tian. He had never realized that His Highness was so vain. Could it be because Miss Linger is by his side, so he is more concerned about his looks? Well, that should be the case. If he married Miss Linger, concubine Lon would be happy down under. Shen Tian looked at his reflection in anticipation. Yes, although his hair was a little messy, that didn't hide his handsomeness. What surprised Shen Tian even more was that the halo above his head had turned almost white. Only a few spots were still stained black, making them look like leopard spots. And the light surrounding the halo had turned mostly white. Only some extremely thin black gas was still resisting. It was only a matter of time before he could turn his halo completely white. After putting away the mirror, Shen Tian and the others followed the rope and climbed up the cliff. He tidied up his Taoist robe and stuck his two fallen mustaches back on again. Shen Tian restored his persona with 4 eyebrows, Master Celestial Shenoutian. He was graceful, one who could charm all the ladies. The group rushed back to Myriad Spirit Garden. To his surprise, just as he stepped into Myriad Spirit Garden, dozens of people rushed toward him. Quick, come, and take a look. Master Celestial Outyan is back. Master Celestial, you're finally back. We've been waiting for you for 3 days. 3 days. Master Celestial, do you know how we've lived these past 3 days? The group rushed toward Shen Tian. The people in the lead were none other than Lucky Man A and Lucky Man B. They rushed over and hugged Shen Tian's leg as they wailed. Master Celestial, you're finally back. We missed you so much. 1. Reference to Stephen Chow's movie, Flirting Scholar. 2. This actually can be interpreted to be 1 yuan, aka, 1 Chinese RMB, something cheap. 3. A Chinese armored hero with water element. Chapter 45. Hug Master Celestial's leg before it was too late. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shen Tian felt very helpless watching the two of them crying like that. Stop using my pants to dry your tears. Damn. Who are you guys? Shen Tian scratched his head as he could not recall them at all. Nevertheless, he started smiling when he looked at their halo. Wow. That is interesting. I remember you. I just got some money from you guys 3 days ago. You guys are ready again. Not bad. The smile on Shen Tian's face was very genial. He helped Lucky Man A and B up and patted them on the shoulder. I missed you guys too. Sorry, I was away for the past few days. Lucky Man A and B looked at each other with hard to conceal excitement in their eyes. As expected, Master Celestial remembered them. Luck Man A was the first man fated with him. Lucky Man B was the one who had suggested giving part of the shares to Master Celestial. They were the founders of Celivers. How could Master Celestial not remember us? Now. Did Master Celestial just say that he missed us? With such a warm smile on his face. We are really special to Master Celestial. Lucky Man B said, we missed you so badly these few days. Lucky Man A said, Master Celestial, I was praying for you at my house every day. Praying? For me? Thanks. Shen Tian rubbed their heads and said, good job. Thanks for doing it for me. Actually, we are still fated. I will help you get a good or later. Upon hearing that, the two of them immediately smiled at each other. The meaning was very obvious. See? Just like I said. The crowd was very jealous of them. No wonder they are the Celivers' founding members. They are shameless. I shouldn't have hesitated just now. I should prepare myself next time. One has to beg before the ties of fate appear. Suddenly, a beautiful woman walked up to Shen Tian and winked at him. She smiled and said, Brother Celestial, do we have fate today? Shen Tian looked above her head and shook his. Not today. You can come back tomorrow. Eventually, there can be fate between us. The lady was angry. She stomped her feet and said, how can you? But before she could finish, the person beside her shoved her away. You did not even hug his leg and still want to have fate with him. Move away. There are still people behind you. A big dot-sized man walked up to Shen Tian. He was wearing a striped robe and looked like a bear. Although he was struggling, his look was very determined. He slowly got on the ground and hugged Shen Tian's legs. He looked kind of cute that way. He looked up and stared at Shen Tian. Master Celestial. You are finally back. Xiong Meng missed you so much. Shen Tian. Qin Gao. Little Spirit Fairy. Eunuch Gui. The crowd. Everyone was staring at Shen Tian now. They just wanted to confirm one thing. They wanted to see if hugging his legs really helped. Shen Tian was not stupid. He knew what they were thinking. He wanted to tell them honestly that hugging his legs was really useless. Although I can get a good or for you and improve your Providence, hugging my legs will not give you new fortuitous opportunities. Unfortunately, this Xiong Meng had a fortuitous opportunity in his Halo 2. What the? Is everyone with fortuitous opportunities coming in groups now? Are you going to hug my legs one by one? Where are your manners? People will misunderstand us. Should I just tell Xiong Meng that we have no fate? So that people will not hug my legs in the future. But looking down at Xiong Meng's gaze, Shen Tian suddenly felt a little pity for him. This big guy got on the floor and hugged my leg. How can I crush his hope like this? That is just unconscionable and unreasonable. What if he gets annoyed and fights me to the death? Shen Tian took a deep breath and said, "Brother, please get up. We are fated too." Xiong Meng was exhilarated. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, Master Celestial. I will pray for you at home too when I get the spirit stones. Shen Tian, you can go now. After Xiong Meng backed off, everyone started to look at Shen Tian's legs. Some were even drooling just by staring at them. Shen Tian felt a chill going down his spine. If all of them started rushing over for his legs, that would be a disaster. Stop. Shen Tian quickly said, "That's enough. No more hugging legs. Or else there will be no fate between us." All of a sudden, those who had been eager to try their luck did not dare to run forward anymore. Shen Tian's words were like thunder from a clear sky and caught them off guard. They regretted their inaction now. They should have made their run for his legs earlier if they knew the slots were limited. They had missed a good chance to have a fate with Master Celestial. It was a total loss. We once had a pair of Master Celestials in front of us, and we didn't cherish them. It was only when I lost them that I regretted it. There is nothing more painful than this in the earthly world. If the heavens could give me a chance to do it again, I would hug the immortal Master's legs tightly and say, "Master Celestial, I missed you so much." Upon seeing that the crowd was in a depressed mood, Shen Tian said, "Don't be discouraged, everyone. Although we are not fated today, there is a long way to go. As long as you visit my stall often in the future, fate will definitely appear." Upon hearing Shen Tian's words, the crowd's emotions recovered a bit. Lucky Man B smiled proudly and looked at Lucky Man A and Xiong Meng. "See? Just like I said. We need to hug Master Celestial's legs early. Only the first few will get his favoritism. It would not work when there were too many people. We need to be innovative to kiss Master Celestial's ass." Lucky Man A looked impressed. Brother is worthy of having studied at the Cultivation Academy. You know just more than us. You are my leader from today onward. Please teach me more in the future. Xiong Meng scratched his head and nodded. Same for me. Chapter 46. Providence improved, skill leveled up. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As usual, Shen Tian was looking for a fated one in his stall. He was very famous now, so there was a much longer queue compared to 3 days ago. Some people did not believe Shen Tian and queued up again after they had been rejected. It took Shen Tian a long time to gather 20 fated people. What was worth mentioning was that there were actually 6 old customers among them. And these 6 old customers had given half of their spirit stones to Shen Tian before. Thus, a subtle atmosphere gradually formed. The 6 of them, who had been chosen before, were glad that they had previously made the right choice. while the other 14 fated ones previously were blaming themselves. We must have made Master Celestial angry somehow. It's our fault that we missed the chance to maintain our fate with Master Celestial. If they were given a second chance, they would be the first to run up and hug his legs and say, "I missed you so much." Okay, we are done for the day. These are the 20 lucky individuals today. He led the crowd toward the Sacred Spirit Workshop. Little Spirit Fairy followed Shantian too. She had changed her clothes and had a little makeup on her. Unexpectedly, no one recognized her. Shantian was very happy about it. This disguise technique is really not inferior to mine. During the days that Shantian had been away, the Sacred Spirit Workshop's business had flourished a lot more than before. After all, the 36th in the spiritual wood list, 7. Treasure Fairy Calabash Seed, had appeared there before. Who knew if there were similar excellent spirit ores left there? The Sacred Spirit Workshop had become a tourist attraction in the Myriad Spirit Garden. There were huge groups of people coming by and asking Shopkeeper Lou about what had happened. "Shopkeeper Lou, I heard that Fairy Lianer used 50,000 spirit stones and bought the seed. I heard that you knew it contained something good and were just waiting for someone to open it." "Shopkeeper Lou, that's a treasure. Do you not feel bad at all?" "Sir, I have 100,000 spirit stones here. Can you sell me a similar or two?" "Yes, the seed is sold. I'm very gifted when it comes to spiritual wood." I knew the seed was not ordinary indeed. The spirit ores are destined to their own masters. I'm just glad its owner showed up already. 100,000 spirit stones. Get lost. Shopkeeper Lou had such similar conversations countless times every day. His heart felt the pain each time the conversation started. God! Why did I not open the ore for myself? If I did, I'd be so successful now. Forget it. Shopkeeper Lou squeezed out a smile on his face, dealing with the customers' queries again and again. Business getting better was something to be happy about, after all. He felt a little bit heartbroken, but it was fine, as long as that Master Celestial did not show up again. Shopkeeper Lou looked outside of the store out of boredom. Then, his smile froze on his face. The man that made him so emotional had appeared. He felt tears rolling in his eyes again when he saw Shantian approaching with a group of his fans and lucky individuals. "Shopkeeper, why are you crying again?" Shantian walked into the Sacred Spirit Workshop and was stunned by Shopkeeper Lou's tears. Shopkeeper Lou wiped his tears and said, "Seeing you, I remembered what happened 3 days ago." Shantian felt very touched. Shopkeeper Lou is so emotional. We should really have met earlier. Shopkeeper Lou looked at the crowd and carefully asked Shantian, "Master Celestial, you are here for?" Shantian smiled and said, "After 3 days of seclusion, I believe I've learned something new. I'm here to try out my skill." More tears formed in Shopkeeper Lou's eyes. 3 days of seclusion, and you learned something new. Help me, please. You already got the 7. Treasure Fairy Calabash Seed before your seclusion. Now you are here again. Why me again? The Sky Spirit Pavilion is better than mine. Please go visit them. BL.net. Shopkeeper Lou only dared to say those words in his heart. His image of a good and conscientious shopkeeper was too hard to get rid of. Thus, he had to welcome Master Celestial again. Furthermore, there were rows of other people here too. If he dared to refuse Shantian to enter, his shop could be in danger. Congratulations, Master Celestial. Please come in. Shopkeeper Lou had no choice but to bring Shantian into the Sacred Spirit Workshop. He was like a sheep looking at a wolf entering its sheepfold. "Brother Shen, I want to try to seek ores too." Little Spirit Fairy looked at the spirit ores and felt excited. She only knew some tricks here and there before and could not assess ores properly. However, she had spent her time in the celestial water immortal abode for the past 3 days, studying the deity-peering art. She believed that her assessing ability had improved. When looking at all the spirit ores in the sacred spirit workshop, little spirit fairy wanted to try out her skills. Shantian smiled after hearing that. He saw that her halo started to show some image after she said that. It was evidently the image of little spirit fairy successfully obtaining the ore's goods. Shantian smiled and said, "Go on, you'll surely find something today." Little spirit fairy blushed. She did not expect Shantian to encourage her so gently. Although she had been studying the deity-peering art for 3 days, it was the first time she would try it out. Honestly, she was not confident at all. Shantian's words had given her a lot of courage. "Don't worry, brother Shen," little spirit fairy said seriously, "I will definitely not let you down." Shantian nodded. "If you encounter an ore that makes you hesitate, you can come to me." Little spirit fairy's heart skipped a beat, and she quickly ran into the sacred spirit workshop. Shantian smiled, brought the lucky individuals with him, and started searching for ores. He did not interfere with little spirit fairy's fortuitous opportunity, as he wanted her to try out her skills and have fun first. It could be that he was stronger now, or it could also be that his providence had improved. Shantian felt that the images from the halos were much clearer to him. When he had encountered the images leading him to the demon book of Hyuga and the celestial water grotto, heaven, it had just been a blurred outline. In the demon book of Hyuga's case, he could only see the book history of the Great Fire, and it stopped. For the fortuitous opportunity in celestial water grotto, heaven, he had only managed to see the gate underneath the cliff. He had not seen the book or the legacies in them, even the outline was kind of blurry. Now, he could see the images clearly, and the description was more detailed. He could even clearly see the outcome of each fortuitous opportunity now. Thus, Shantian had a guess, his ability had leveled up. Chapter 47. Are you surprised? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lucky Man A's fortuitous opportunity was a spirit ore today. Shantian could only see where the ore was located and how it looked previously. Sometimes, he could see a shadow of what was in it. However, now, he could see clearly what was inside the ore. This time, it was a small piece of fire iron essence. The essence was about the size of a finger, and it could be used to refine fire-type supreme-grade flying swords. The image also showed that Lucky Man A would sell the essence to shopkeeper Lu for 1,500 spirit stones. Shantian's ability could see the future now. Naturally, Shantian was very happy about it. Each time he picked a spirit ore and the ore-cutter opened them, shopkeeper Lu's mouth twitched, as though the blade was running on his face instead of the ore. However, shopkeeper Lu was glad that the goods Shantian obtained today were not a precious item, like the 7-treasure fairy calabash seed from 3 days ago. He felt much better since he profited from it too. Although it was not as much compared to Shantian, it was a lot to him already. Little spirit fairy walked up with 3 spirit ores in her arms. She looked at Shantian and asked embarrassedly, "Brother Shen, I think all 3 of them have something in them. Could you help me take a look?" Shantian inspected the 3 spirit ores. The first one was about the size of a fist and was priced at 50 spirit stones. The second one was in the shape of a long strip and looked somewhat like a cucumber, and was priced at 99 spirit stones. As for the third ore, it was the size of a small watermelon and was priced at 168 spirit stones. Shantian smiled slightly and asked, "Which one of these ores do you like more?" Little spirit fairy thought for a moment and replied, "I used the secret technique to investigate and found that the long strip of ore contains the densest ominous power. There should be something good inside." Shantian smiled and said, "There is a supreme-grade Dharma artifact, the phoenix feather hairpin, in it. But its energy source was depleted. It should be worth about 30.50000 spirit stones. In the images he saw, shopkeeper Lu would offer 50,000 spirit stones for it. He believed that the price should be around there. SSSSS. The crowd was amazed. The ore priced at 99 spirit stones contains something worth 50,000 spirit stones. That's 500 times the value. What a good deal for the buyer. Little Spirit Fairy was shocked. He can tell what's in the ore with just a glance. How is that possible? Even the Spirit Venerable Divine Water herself could not do it. Shopkeeper Lu was shocked by his words too. He felt the pain in his heart again. He's obtained a good item again. Master Celestial, do you really have to hurt me over and over again? No one ever doubted the judgment of Shen Tian since he had never failed once. Shopkeeper Lu had no choice but to ask his ore cutter to come over. The ore was opened slowly, and a divine light escaped from it. A phoenix appeared on the ore and danced on the ore. A phoenix sound reverberated throughout the sacred spirit workshop as the ore crust began to fall. A red and gold hairpin appeared from the ore. It was indeed a supreme-grade Dharma artifact. There was even some phoenix blood mixed in the hairpin. Shopkeeper Lu's eyes lit up. He knew it was a good item. Before its source had been depleted, it should have been an incredible spirit artifact. However, it has been sealed for too long, and thus it is now a supreme-grade Dharma artifact. If I can find a good refiner and recraft this item, there is a chance for it to become a spirit artifact again. Thus, its price will at least reach 200,000 spirit stones. But Master Celestial said it's only worth 50,000 spirit stones. Could it be that Master Celestial is bad at judging an artifact's value? Shopkeeper Lu became very excited. He walked up to Shen Tian and Little Spirit Fairy and said, "Congratulations, this is a good item. I'm willing to offer 50,000 spirit stones for it. How about it?" Little Spirit Fairy was a little reluctant. Like all the other girls, she liked jewels, especially accessories that looked good and high-grade. Such small items were extremely rare in the cultivation world as it was hard to make them. Little Spirit Fairy said, helplessly, "I want to keep it, but I do not have so many spirit stones." Shopkeeper Lu started smiling. "Just sell it. You need spirit stones, right? Just sell it." Suddenly, a bag appeared before Shopkeeper Lu. Shen Tian smiled and said, "There are 5 spirit crystals here that are worth 5,000 spirit stones. We are keeping the hairpin." Shopkeeper Lu. Why? Shopkeeper Lu was about to cry again. "You said it was worth about 50,000 yourself. Why are you not selling it now? If you are not selling, at least give me the 10% fees for ore cutting. 000 spirit stones. This hairpin is worth at least 200,000 spirit stones. Percent is 20,000 spirit stones." Shopkeeper Lu felt his heart throbbing in pain. He could not tell anyone why. There was a rule in ore gambling. The shopkeeper could only make an offer once for the goods in an ore. If the customer felt it was okay, they could sell the item to the shopkeeper. If not, they could just pay 10% of what the shopkeeper offered and keep the item. This prevented the shopkeeper from offering low prices when trying to buy the items or giving an overpriced estimate just to get higher fees for ore cutting. That would be a dishonest act. Once found out, the shopkeeper would be suppressed by all their peers around them. The store's credibility would also receive a fatal blow as a result. Therefore, even if shopkeeper Lu knew that this hairpin's price was as much as 200,000 spirit stones, he could not argue anything. He could only watch as Shen Tian bought the hairpin with 5,000 spirit stones. Shopkeeper Lu started crying again. Little Spirit Fairy felt very touched. "Brother Shen, this." Little Spirit Fairy's face blushed as Shen Tian passed the hairpin to her. "Is he giving me the hairpin? So he likes me, right?" Maybe he could help me wear it. Little Spirit Fairy had a silly smile on her face. Shantian smiled too and said, I can see that you like this hairpin very much. I'm helping you to pay the 5,000 spirit stones first. You can pay me back later when you have the money. I have plenty of spirit stones on me now. You are welcome. Are you surprised? Little Spirit Fairy. Chapter 48. Brother Shen, Liena is coming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The crowd was surprised when Shen Tian gave the phoenix feather hairpin to Little Spirit Fairy. In their eyes, Little Spirit Fairy was dressed like a man. So, Master Celestial gave the hairpin to man. And the man is looking at Master Celestial with eyes filled with love. SSSSSS. Everyone had the same mind-blowing idea. Many people started screaming. No. Brother Celestial. You cannot do this. Brother Celestial. I love you so much. How can you like a man? No one will bless you if you are with another man. That's not true love. Go away, you pervert. My brother Celestial is not gay. Most of the screams came from his female fans. Shen Tian's mouth twitched. Who is gay? I'm straight as ever. And Qin Gao. Why are you looking at me with such a look too? You know best what kind of person I am. Shen Tian felt very tired. Stop. Shen Tian shouted and hugged Little Spirit Fairy. Then, he pulled her hair band, and her long hair fell freely. Soon, everyone recognized Little Spirit Fairy. Damn! It was Little Spirit Fairy. Wow, I did not recognize her without her long hair. Little Spirit Fairy disguised as a man and followed Master Celestial. Why? You never heard of the story a few days ago. I heard from my friend that something is going with them. Everyone was gossiping about them in the Sacred Spirit Workshop. Some were envious, while some were doubtful. Little Spirit Fairy did not feel stress at all. She felt happy. Brother Shen hugged me in front of so many people. Is he going to confess to me in front of the crowd? That is just so embarrassing. Shen Tian looked at the crowd peacefully. He said, first, I'm not gay. Second, this fellow here is not a man. She is Little Spirit Fairy. Here it comes, he is going to confess to me. Little Spirit Fairy felt her heart beating very fast. Then Shen Tian spoke again. Third, there is nothing going on between Linger and me. I swear on my own master. Please, do not spread rumors. After saying his piece, Shen Tian felt very relaxed. He had finally cleared the gossip. Linger is still a young lady. If the rumors were to spread, how is she going to get married in the future? Luckily I'm smart. I made a quick and swift decision. He let go of Little Spirit Fairy and said, you are welcome. I'm only doing what I should do. Little Spirit Fairy. So, after all the trouble, you just want to tell me you are not interested in me? Sure. Thank you so much. At Grand White Grotto, Heaven. A girl in a white dress was watering the plants in her garden. She looked very innocent and pure. What stood out the most was a strand of a hogue on her hair. She was humming some song, and her hogue was bouncing around. La 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 calabash grow, when you grow your dad will come, ah chew. Ah chew. She sneezed out of sudden, and her hogue stood up too. Why am I sneezing out of sudden? Is Brother Shen thinking of me? It must be. I'm not by his side now. What if he's in danger? I cannot stay here in the grotto, Heaven anymore. I need to save him. I'll bring him back and marry him. As long as I'm fast enough, my parents will not catch me. At the thought of this, the girl could not help but praise her wit. But what about this calabash? She fell deep in thought while looking at the growing calabash. It's proof of the relationship between Brother Shen and me. It just germinated a little. What if when I come back, the seedling has withered? Oh yeah. I can bring it with me. Then, she spotted a 9-leafed gladiolus plant her father had planted in a pot. She pulled the gladiolus plant out and threw it onto the ground. Then, she dug out the 7-treasure fairy calabash seed and put it into the pot carefully. After all these, she ran out of the garden secretly. Brother Shen. Lianer is coming. On the other side. Since Shen Tian had already sworn, the crowd believed him. Swearing to one's master was a very serious and powerful pledge in the cultivation world. There was not so much gossip now. Jiu'er suddenly spoke up beside Shen Tian. Master. I felt a super strong sense of resentment. It's just pure resentment. It's coming from Miss Linger. It smells so nice. Can Jiu'er just take a little? Please, no. Shen Tian tapped on the rosary bead. You need to endure through the temptation, or all the efforts would be wasted. Shen Tian looked at little spirit fairy worriedly. It's not the first time Linger shows signs of resentment. Could perfected black blood really have something to do with it? But I cannot see what's wrong. Curse that stupid evil cultivator. We are not keeping the other 2 ores. Although little spirit fairy had chosen 3 spirit ores, Shen Tian had only seen the fortuitous opportunity for the cucumber-shaped one. He had not seen the other 2 in the images. Thus, he was not sure what was inside them. 5 of the lucky individuals had already gotten their ores opened. Shen Tian glanced at the remaining 15 individuals and saw that 4 of them would encounter their fortuitous opportunities in the Sky Spirit Pavilion. It was one of the best-selling shops in the Myriad Spirit Garden indeed. Shen Tian led his team and moved toward the Sky Spirit Pavilion. He had yet to reach the Sky Spirit Pavilion when he saw the red-robbed shopkeeper Song waiting for him. There were 2 banners beside his store. If we are fated, my services will be free, but if we are not, no amount of gold would fancy me. Below the signboard, there was a red banner too. Our shop welcomes Master Celestial Shen Outyen to come and assess our ores. Shopkeeper Song stood at the entrance and was very happy to see Shen Tian. He ran toward him and bowed. Master Celestial, finally you are here. I missed you so much. Shen Tian was stunned. Chapter 49. Making Fate Out of Nothing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Does Shopkeeper Song have a superpower or something? How did he know that I'm going over to his shop today? He even made banners to welcome me. He started to admire Shopkeeper Song a little. The other shopkeepers did not really welcome Shen Tian. Although all the ores Shen Tian chose would be opened by the shop and the shopkeeper could earn 10% of the profit, humans were a very complicated species. They knew that the ores were for sale, and they would eventually be sold to someone. But when they saw the spirit ores were all so valuable, they would still feel uncomfortable. They would blame themselves for not opening the ores themselves and take the chance to earn the profit. They would be rich if they had the guts. That was the dark side of humans. Shen Tian had a high EQ, so he was clearly aware of that. As such, he did not understand why Shopkeeper Song was so different. He had even beat up his son before. Shopkeeper Song was supposed to hate him and try to take him down. Could it be that my disguise skill is too good? And Shopkeeper Song felt a sense of affinity looking at me. Shen Tian's mind was intrigued, and he walked toward the Sky Spirit Pavilion. Shopkeeper Song followed him respectfully. His thinking was very simple. This man here belonged to Fairy Lianer. It was his son's fault for messing around with him. It served him right. If it were someone else with a bad temper, they could even have killed his son instead. Shopkeeper Song had tried to give a universe ring to Master Celestial so that he would not be so angry. Apparently, it was not enough. What could he do? He could only keep Master Celestial entertained and kiss his ass. Thus, when he heard that Shantian had appeared in the myriad spirit garden again, shopkeeper Song quickly took out the banners that he had prepared 3 days ago and waited for his arrival. He even wore a prosperous red robe. As long as Master Celestial was happy, he could do anything. Young shopkeeper Song was not happy about it. He complained softly, "He beat me up. Why would he be angry?" Shopkeeper Song heard the complaints and moved silently in front of him and slapped him. "Useless kid. I warn you. Do not make a stupid mistake again. I should get you checked with bloodline mystic techniques to see if you are really my son. I'm so smart and successful in the myriad spirit garden. Why are you so useless and stupid? How could you make Master Celestial angry? What if he decided to kill us all? I don't care about you. Just leave me out of it." After warning his son, shopkeeper Song smiled again. "Master Celestial, take your time. Choose the ores you like. Master Celestial must be tired from helping people to find good ores. You have my respect. We will provide free ore cutting services for all the ores chosen by Master Celestial today." SSSSS. Everyone was shocked by what they heard. Everyone knew that when Master Celestial picked an ore, there would be very good things in it. Even if the profit was just 10%, it was still a huge amount collectively. He was having this amount away so generously. That was really something. Lucky Man B looked at the shopkeeper with pride. He shouted, "That's the way. Shopkeeper Song is so generous. I'm willing to pay the 10% to Master Celestial. It is what he deserves." Lucky Man A shouted too. "Me too. I'll give it too." Xiong Meng scratched his head and shouted, "Me. Me too." Soon, everyone agreed to give another 10% of the ores to Shantian instead. "No. Our deal is 50.50. I will not take any extra." Shantian rejected the offer quickly. If he kept the 10%, he would be taking 60% of the entire profit. That was so unreasonable. Well, the thing about the 60.40 split was that Shantian could not improve his Providence. His priority now was to whiten his halo. He had no interest in spirit stones anymore, especially after getting millions of inheritance from the spirit Venerable Divine Water. Wait a minute. Shantian saw something in shopkeeper Song's halo. He has a fortuitous opportunity too. Not bad, shopkeeper. What a lucky day for you. Shantian patted on his shoulder and said, "Shopkeeper Song is so generous. I respect you too. But I cannot keep this 10%. Please, give it to someone else." Upon seeing that shopkeeper Song was going to reject him, Shantian smiled and said, "Actually, you have fate with me today too." SSSSS. The crowd was amazed. It appeared. Making fate out of nowhere. Rumors said that the fate with Master Celestial was not destined. One could beg for it. As long as Master Celestial was happy, fate would just appear suddenly. 3 shameless fellows had hugged Master Celestial's legs and said that they had missed him. Then, they appeared to be fated with Master Celestial out of a sudden. Many people did not believe the tale. But now, it seemed like shopkeeper Song was an expert in this making fate technique. Master Celestial must be very happy about him. If not, why did he become the 21st fated person of Master Celestial? SSSS. I'm fated with Master Celestial too. Upon hearing what Shantian sighed, shopkeeper Song was stunned. I'm fated with Master Celestial. So he's not angry with me anymore. Good, good, good. My life is not at risk anymore. I will ban my son from going out for 3 months as a celebration. Shantian did not know what shopkeeper Song was thinking. He searched around in the Sky Spirit Pavilion and found a spirit ore about the size of a winter melon. It looked ordinary and very heavy. This is a good ore. Open it. I'll not let you down. Shopkeeper Song was thrilled and quickly asked the ore cutter to open it. The crust of the ore was removed slowly. Cling. A super strong purple light radiated from the spirit ore, lightning and thunder were surrounding the ore. The rest of the crust crumbled by the power and a long purple golden hammer appeared. It was definitely not ordinary. Chapter 50. What a clever shopkeeper song. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Supreme.grade Dharma artifact. It was another Supreme.grade Dharma artifact. Everyone was surprised. Wow! This hammer looks so powerful. The purple and gold light from this hammer is intense too. I think this will be worth more than the phoenix feather hairpin. Even the lucky individuals were looking at the hammer with envious looks. Although they had profited too, it was nothing when compared to this hammer. Shopkeeper Song really has foresight. He prepared banners for Master Celestial and provided him good services. No wonder Master Celestial helped him get a good artifact. We should have gotten a group of musicians and followed Master Celestial too. We can only blame ourselves for being too reserved. We could have the hammer if we behaved better. They made up their minds to do the same next time. They would make Master Celestial happy no matter what. Upon seeing that Shopkeeper Song was staring at the hammer, Lucky Man B walked beside him. Shopkeeper Song, are you going to keep this for yourself? Shopkeeper Song quickly understood what he was trying to say. Thanks for the reminder. I understand. I'll join Celivers right after this. Half the value of this hammer belongs to Master Celestial too. Lucky Man B looked at the shopkeeper proudly. He had spent a huge time convincing people to give 50% of the profit to Master Celestial. He had to tell them exactly what to do and why. But Shopkeeper Song only needed a slight reminder before understanding everything. No wonder he was so successful. Lucky Man B looked at Shopkeeper Song as he walked toward Shantian. He picked up the hammer and inspected it. Not bad, it's indeed a good Supreme.grade item. There's a lightning array formation inscribed on the hammer. As long as spirit chi is infused in it, it can trigger the array and shoot out thunder. This hammer was probably a spirit artifact once. But it was sealed away for too long, and its energy was depleted. If a cultivator that practices thunder techniques were to take care of it for some time, it would not be impossible for it to become a spirit artifact again. Shopkeeper Song believed that the hammer was worth at least 300,000 spirit stones. Shantian smiled and said, Shopkeeper Song, it is not bad, right? Shopkeeper Song smiled and said, all thanks to Master Celestial. This hammer is really special. I believe it is worth at least 10,000 spirit stones. Everyone who could recognize its value frowned. A Supreme.grade Dharma artifact hammer with purple and gold light only worth 10,000 spirit stones. Are you sure you want to do it? Lucky Man B and Lucky Man A looked at Shopkeeper Song and sighed. They had been under the impression that Shopkeeper Song was clever, but it turned out. Shopkeeper Song had given in to temptation eventually. Shantian did not really care how much this hammer was worth. He only planned to look for ores for others and whiten his halo. Truth be told, Shantian had no idea how much this hammer was worth. The 13th prince had grown up as an unlucky and poor prince. He had never used anything so advanced before. There was no way for him to know the price of these things. He smiled and said, 10,000 spirit stones, it's not bad. At least, you profited a little. That's not just a little. Shopkeeper Song quickly said, I spent 500 spirit stones and got 10,000 in return. That's 20 times the value. Shopkeeper Song paused for a moment and looked very embarrassed. He looked at Shantian and said, I'm supposed to give 5,000 spirit stones to you. But we have purchased too many ores recently, and I don't have much cash with me right now. All the lucky individuals got very angry with Shopkeeper Song. How could he do that? Master Celestial already said that his service was free before. If you do not want to pay him, just don't pay. No one is forcing you. Why come up with so many excuses? Purchased too many ores. Thus, no cash on hand. Sky Spirit Pavilion cannot even take out 5,000 spirit stones. Even stupid people could tell that this hammer is very valuable. If it was sold to a cultivator that practices thunder techniques, it would at least worth 200,000 spirit stones. You say it is only worth 10,000 spirit stones. What a shameless shopkeeper. Just as the crowd was about to start an argument, Shopkeeper Song spoke again. How about I sell this purple golden hammer to you for 10,000? Then you should have 50% of the profit, that's 5,000 spirit stones. You just have to pay me another 5,000 spirit stones, and this hammer is yours to keep. My shop's cash flow is really limited. I can only think of this way. If you don't have so many spirit stones now, it's okay too. You can pay me next time. What do you think of this proposal? SSSSS. Wow. After hearing Shopkeeper Song out, Lucky Man A and Lucky Man B kneeled for him. Xiong Meng kneeled for him. Everyone else kneeled too. Damn. Shopkeeper Song is really something. That's what he wants. He could at least get 150,000 spirit stones if he split it 50.50 since it was a supreme-grade Dharma artifact worth about 300,000 spirit stones. Now, he priced the hammer at a lower price and sold it at 5,000. That was so beautifully done. His fate with Master Celestial must be continued forever after he did this. Even Lucky Man B was worshipping him. At first, he had been under the impression that he was better than the rest of the lucky individuals and that Shopkeeper Song was very greedy and stubborn. Who knew that Shopkeeper Song was much better than him? Shopkeeper Song was his idol. That was such a clever move. Shen Tian was shocked by the proposal too. Honestly speaking, although he did not know how much this hammer was worth, it did look very pricey. He took the purple golden hammer. Wow! It's so heavy. It was heavy, even for him. It would definitely be useful when he used it with First Essence Heavy Water. Shen Tian looked at Shopkeeper Song and said, "Good, I like this hammer a lot. Since Shopkeeper Song does not have so much cash and wants to sell it for spirit stones, I'll buy it. But like I said before, my service is free. 5,000 spirit stones won't do it. How about just 10,000? I will buy this hammer for 10,000 spirit stones. How about it?"